Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Tabitha. I am a junior at my university. I study elementary education as my declared major. I've wanted to be a teacher ever since I was 6 years old, so going into college I immediately knew what I wanted to do. This is a big passion of mine and teaching is just something that I love. With that being said, I have accumulated children's books for my classroom library, my future classroom library, and a lot of them I've gotten thrifted or at garage sales. I've gotten them as gifts. Some of them I've gotten from previous teachers of mine, some friends of mine, family members, and some are actually from my childhood. I don't just buy every children's book that I see though. I try to think of what purpose it'll have in my classroom, whether it's for silent reading or if I'm reading that to them, what kind of message it portrays. I actually did take a children's literature class that was all about children's literature, and the class was one of my favorite. It taught me a lot about what kind of books to recommend to children and also a lot of issues with children's literature, some of the best authors to recommend, and I'm very fortunate to take that class. It was one of my favorites, like I said. I'm not going to talk much more. I will try to explain the ones that I really like or the ones that I recommend, the ones that are popular, maybe where I got them. So we're gonna get into it. This intro has been long enough. So these aren't in any particular order, not in the order I got them or anything. So this first one I got in an outlet store. I think I got this last spring, and it's obviously a Christmas book. Obviously Christmas books, Christmas in general, it's a little bit more sensitive nowadays, and especially in schools and, you know, early childhood programs, things like that. So this could be maybe just a book I keep at home for my future children. I don't know, it really depends honestly, but this is called Happy Christmas, Mr. Nimbus. I've never heard of this book before, but it's very cute. It has a lot of white space, which is good for children's literatures. This I also got at a bookstore, and it's by Chris Colfer, literally one of my favorite actors. He was in Glee, if you don't know, and Glee is one of my favorite shows. I fell in love with Kurt. I love his character. He's actually a children's book author, so he writes The Land of Stories, and this is a children's book, so usually he writes chapter books. So I was so surprised to find this and I just had to get it. It's called Trobella Throws a Party. This is what the book looks like. I read it in like October, but this is kind of what the graphics look like. It's very cute, like fairy tale story, so kids love that stuff, so I'd love to incorporate this into my classroom library. This one I think my sister got me for Christmas this year, so it's called Little Critters Family Treasury, and there's just 7 mini stories in here. Little Critters has always been one of my childhood nostalgia type book series. So these are all the books that are in there if you want to look at that. This obviously would just be something for the kids to read depending on the age I teach. That's a good thing to take note of. I'll be licensed to teach K through 6 with my teaching license that I get not this December but the following December. So I graduate next year, which is crazy. So just want to clarify that if anyone's confused. There's different elementary majors, and depending if you want to teach dual, special, early childhood. These books are so cute. I got them at a garage sale. I don't remember what the price were, but they had to have been like 50 cents, I would think. Super cute because each page, like the googly eyes follow the pages. So these are all the books that I have, and I happen to find all 4 of them at the same time. So Christmas fun, I have Sam the Snowman, Ricky the Reindeer, which is probably my favorite. It's super cute, and then Holiday Cheer. These books I've also tried reading to my nephew. My nephew is over a year old, so these books obviously would be great to use for him as well, teaching him and reading to him and stuff, because that's important. And then this book, Memory Lane, I swear, David Gets in Trouble. The David books, I got this at St. Vinny's for under $3, and it's still in very good condition. This book reminds me of my childhood. I remember this being read to me when I was in like my school library in elementary school. David Shannon is a very good author if you want to look into his books as well. My boyfriend and I actually went thrifting before this whole pandemic, so I think it was early March, I believe, when we visited his family right after my 21st birthday. I don't think he's ever actually been thrifting like for fun, so I wanted to take him, and I found a bunch of children's books. The Cat in the Hat. I can read with my eyes shut. Yes, this one, I love the color scheme of this one. And then One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. So I was in my field clinicals actually with pre-K students this semester before this whole thing hit, and so I obviously couldn't do that anymore, which is really devastating. It's really devastating because I absolutely love doing it, and I love the kids, and I love just how much I was learning and experiencing firsthand with like my kids, of course, not mine, but the kids I was working with, you know. They actually just finished up to Dr. Seuss week because of Dr. Seuss's birthday, which is the same week of my birthday. That's how I always remembered it. I immediately grabbed this one, of course. This is a classic. I really wanted to incorporate Dr. Seuss into my classroom library because it is so popular and he has so many good books that teach kids so many things. This is another book I found, and this also takes me back to memory lane. I'm not sure where I can remember this book being read to me. It's The Golden Egg, and it's one of my favorites when I was little. It's such a beautiful book. This book I got at a book outlet store, I think too. This is called Harry Hungry, where it's just about a boy who's hungry all the time and eats like his whole town. It's just more of a funnier, silly book, of course. This one is Say Please Little Bear. I think I got this thrifting as well. But yeah, this is very good for teaching kids about manners, the simplicity of manners, the meaning of manners, and everything like that. So especially for younger kids. It's a Mickey Mouse book, Walt Disney, of course. I would love to have a Walt Disney section in my classroom library as well, depending on the grade that I teach, of course. But Mickey Finds a Kitten. This one is so cute, and I love like the vintage. It's adorable. This author I've heard of before, but I've never looked into his books. Mo Willems. Oh my gosh. I want to get all of his books. I love them. Of course, these are for way, way younger. Like, I'm guessing like pre-K, first grade, any in that range. Kindergarten's my dream grade to teach, so this would be perfect. But he writes all the Elephant and Piggy books, the Pigeon books, if you've heard of any of those. I incorporated it in one of my literacy with a writing focus like lesson plans that I did for my field work, and the kids loved it. So great. Love his book. So this book I think I got for Christmas. A Color of His Own by Leo Leoni. I'm so sorry, I'm butchering that. This book obviously teaches about colors, and this I believe she got at Kohl's. The mediums he uses in his books are so beautiful. This book is great to have as well. This one also takes me back to memory lane. How Do Dinosaurs Say Goodnight? It's not in the best condition, but honestly that's not really the biggest deal to me. This book I got at the book outlet store as well. It's called Bear's Big Breakfast. It teaches a lot about alliteration because it repeatedly uses the letter B. It's a great book for introducing animals that start with the letter B, foods that start with the letter B, just using the letter B in general. I wanted to incorporate this in a reading lesson for a while, ever since I got it really, and it'd be great to use for that reason. Okay, so I wanted this, and I remember seeing it in the back to school section at Target this past summer, and I was kind of on a budget. I don't really like to spend full price on children's books, especially when they can add up so quickly and you can get them at book outlets and, you know, thrifting and stuff like that, if they're in good condition, right? So I didn't want to get this book even though I wanted it so badly, and I found it actually at my university. They were selling it and they had a discount, so I got it then, and it was obviously brand new. It's called We Don't Eat Our Classmates. Oh my god. This book is the cutest book. It's about a dinosaur named Penelope, I believe. She eats her classmates, and she kind of just realizes the meaning of like friendship and being different and everything. It's just a really good book to read on like the first day of school for any group of kids, I think. I have a sticky note in here because I read it to a kid for an assessment. I believe it was either a phonological or phonemic awareness assessment that I did for class. I definitely recommend getting this, reading it, and using it if you want to be an elementary teacher and use it in your future classroom. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Okay, so this one is another throwback. Miss Bindergarten Gets Ready for Kindergarten. If I could read this for kindergarten students, obviously I would. First day of school, perfect book to read. If I get to teach kindergarten, this would be the book I'd be reading for the first day every single year. That would totally be a tradition I would love to take part in. Then I have two Magic School Bus books, which these were from my childhood. I did not buy these. They're not strictly informational, but they have a little twist of obviously being a little bit more fictional, you know. Incorporating Magic School Bus would be a good series to incorporate in my classroom as well. They have literally so many books. This is the cutest book. It's called The Runaway Pumpkin, and I think it's a newer book. It came out, I think, last year, I believe, or maybe 2018, I'm not sure. But it's about a little pumpkin who is super excited and wants to do all these things on Halloween, and is telling, you know, his mom about it. This book is really good for Halloween, maybe starting like the month of October, the week of Halloween. It's a fall holiday book. It's perfect. This is another one to do for maybe Halloween. It's called Hubble Bubble Granny Trouble. It says, my granny's kind of different. She wears black pointy hats, and she's always accompanied by cats and frogs and bats. What would you do if your granny was different? Would you try to make her like other grannies, or would you love her just the way she is? So This is great. It'd be great for a literacy lesson with a writing focus. It would be great for getting the children to believe and think more creatively, especially around this time of year. It'd be great. The last book, I think I got this book in a cereal box. You remember when like cereal boxes would have books on the inside? Does anyone remember that? I think I got this book in like a really tiny version in a cereal box. So this book, I saw it when I was thrifting with my boyfriend. It's called Bear Snores On, and I think it's just about all these different animals trying to be quiet while the bear hibernates, and then the bear ends up waking up and they all become friendly to each other. So that is my children's book collection up to now. I also have a whole bunch of chapter books that I didn't incorporate. These are more like read aloud books kind of, or silent reading books, but I do have literally so many chapter books, it's kind of insane. And I always love collecting those as well. So if you want to see a video with that, I could totally do that and make this, I guess, a part 2. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I want to make more videos, and teaching is a passion. So if you want to be a part of my journey, seeing me grow as a future teacher, give me some video suggestions if you'd like, because I honestly don't know what to do with my channel anymore. But I literally have gained like 100 new subscribers since my last video in December. Which is like crazy because one of my old videos is like blowing up from like almost 4 years ago. I don't know why, but it is. So thank you. Hello, I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.